Hi shop, Rod from Woodslee Summercraft here. I've been nominated by Bram, the Mill wood turner, to do a 10 question and answer video. So this will be my effort of that. A bunch of other guys have done it. Keith Barrow from 54A, Ian Maud, and also John from the woodworking shed, and I'm sure a few others have as well, so I'm sorry if I forgot you or missed you, but it's going around the circuit right now that we're all doing a 10 question and answer setup. So I will also be nominating somebody at the end of this video, so watch till the end and maybe you'll be nominated to do this 10 question and answers. So let's get on with the questions, shall we? So question number one, when did you start woodworking and why? Well, to be honest, I've always enjoyed woodworking from when I was a child. My dad and my grandfather, in fact my great-grandfather and my grandfather did a lot of carpentry, and also my dad did a lot of carpentry. In fact, he had his own lathe from the 80s, so I grew up with the family working with different wood. So I've always enjoyed working with tools, hands-on. I'm an electrician, so working with tools is nothing new to me. So woodworking, when did I start wood turning? Would have been the Christmas of 2013 when my father-in-law came over. I didn't realize at the time that he had a wood lathe, so the pair of us went down to my dad's workshop, which was still set up at the time the way it was when my dad used it, and he showed me how to turn a bowl on my dad's lathe, and it just went from there. How did I get started in wood turning? Well, fortunately my dad had all the wood turning tools in his workshop at his house. Although my dad had passed away 7 years prior to my starting wood turning, the tools were all still sitting there and they were all still ready to go. So it was something that I'd always wanted to do, but just never had the nerve to start without somebody at least showing me how to get started. So in 2013, Christmas 2013, my father-in-law came over, and I didn't realize at the time that he had a lathe and did wood turning. So he brought me down to my dad's workshop, he turned a bowl, showed me how to get started, and that basically was the beginning, and it's something that I now really enjoy. What tool do you use the most? Well, there are so many tools in wood turning. Obviously the lathe. I like my chainsaw and my bandsaw because I do a lot of bowl and spindle blank preparation. I get a lot of wood. I'm very fortunate in southern Canada. There's lots of different types of wood that I can get my hands on, and it's free. I get walnut, oak, ash, locust, birch, cedar, all kinds of woods for free. And obviously when you're getting logs of wood you need to prepare it. So in preparation you need chainsaws and bandsaws and different things like that. So fortunately I have all those, and I enjoy using those tools. As far as wood turning tools, I just recently purchased a couple of new gouges which I really do enjoy. This one has the Ellsworth grind on it, and this one is ground for the bottom of bowls. And with my last video you may have just seen, I have my new grinding setup. So now having sharper tools is going to make wood turning just push me to the next level. Which finish do I prefer? Well, to be fair, to be honest, I've tried various types of finishes. I've tried beeswax on its own, I've tried CA finishes, I've tried Danish oil, I've tried all kinds of products that I could mention. But obviously more recently, Yorkshire grit and Hampshire sheen, hands down, are my favourite combination of a finish. It reduces the amount of sanding and preparation time, and you do get a fantastic finish if applied correctly. So yeah, that would be my finish of choice. Obviously each item that you make is going to need its own specific finish, depending on what the use is for, whether it's food safe or not food safe, and that's a whole conversation I don't want to go into. But there are many options out there for finishes. What would you like to achieve this year? Well, there's many things I'd like to achieve this year, but when it comes down to my workshop and wood turning and my website in general, I would like to advance them. I'd like to make my workshop more usable, make the space cleaner and tidier, make my website more user-friendly and have more products available. And I'd like to be a better wood turner. I would like to definitely be a better wood turner in general. I've got lots to learn, I'm sure of that. And I enjoy sharing on YouTube, so I'd like to produce more YouTube videos. So there's lots of things that I'd like to achieve this year. Sharing and learning and improving myself all round. What is your favourite piece that you've turned? Well, hands down, without a doubt, is a burl that I turned about 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. It was very early days in my turning experience. Now, more than a decade ago, probably 15 years ago, my dad picked up this big burl from a friend's yard, and he brought it home and he never did turn it. It scared him just to look at it, and I understand why. It was very dry, very gappy. It was very unstable looking. Which part of wood turning do you enjoy the most? Well, there's lots to it. I really enjoy finding wood, cutting it up, seeing what's inside of it. That's one of the biggest pleasures you can find when you take a down and out log, cut it in half, and you find that it's stable and it's solid and there's some amazing figure in there. Some woods you'll find will be plain and boring, and some pieces you'll find spalting and bug activity and different things that just make it interesting. So I enjoy using my bandsaw and my chainsaw and getting those blanks made and prepared and dried and turned on the lathe. Whether it's the waiting 3 months or so until the piece is dry enough to finish completely, I don't mind. I'll wait for that, and I'll microwave pieces and let them sit in a bag and slowly dry. I enjoy all of that, and finally when you get that finish on it and the luster and the chatoyance of the wood, I just love all of it. There's not much that I don't enjoy about it, to be honest with you, except maybe the dust. To colour or not to colour, that is the question. Personally, I'm not a big fan of colour. I like wood, the natural colours of the wood. Yes, there's some wood out there that is bland and boring. Most of the wood I try to find has got figure and colour and character. That's what I enjoy. I suppose if I had more wood that was bland, then I might be drawn more to colour. I know sycamore can be quite bland, but you can get bug activity and you can get spalting in sycamore, which would make it more interesting. But like I said, if it was boring and bland coloured wood, then yes, I can see using more colour. I have used gold leaf in the past on a couple of pieces. But yeah, colour or not colour, not a big fan of colour, but it's something I will dabble in the future for sure. Why did I start a YouTube channel? Well, that honestly was not my first place to go. I don't think I would have done that myself, and I've got Stephen Twidell to thank for that. Temple Boy Turnings. He's the guy that pushed me to do that. He thought it would be a good idea, and I think it is a good idea. It's a fantastic idea. Not only can you share what you're doing, you can go back and look at what you've done. You can see if you're improving or if there's areas you need to improve. There's lots of reasons to have a YouTube channel, and it's a great community of woodworkers too. So it's great to compare and notes and talk with other YouTubers. So I do enjoy it as a community. What other hobbies do I enjoy? Well, over the years I've had lots of different hobbies. I did karate for 5 years, Goju-Ryu karate from Okinawa. I have a koi pond, so I have koi fish in a pond outside, which I absolutely adore. They are lovely fish. I have raised chickens and ducks and turkeys in my backyard. But I would have to say that woodwork is one of my main hobbies. I am so happy that I picked up wood turning because it has just taken me to a whole new level of what to do with my time. It's one thing that I really enjoy. It's better than just sitting on the couch doing nothing. It's productive. You make something, you might not like it, but somebody else might love it, or vice versa. You might love it, somebody else might hate it. It's just one of those things. You never know what you're going to get. And when you take a piece of wood and you cut into it, you just never know what you're going to get, and it's exciting. It's exciting when you see the finish you get on some of these woods. And that's what I enjoy the most about wood turning. So one last thing I'd like to say is I have to nominate somebody to do their 10 questions and answers. So I think I'll nominate you, Steve. Stephen Twidell from Temple Boy Turnings in Ireland. You've been nominated to answer these 10 questions. So thanks for watching. I hope that answers a few questions. And if you have any more questions, just put it in the comment below. And if you like this little talk, thumbs up. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Take care. Bye now.